Why are you doing this rather than getting a job, for instance, to fund your studies?
Personally, I feel like lots of jobs, especially the ones I'm qualified for, want young women who are enthusiastic anyway. So it's obviously something that people are looking for. And I think that if I can have a companion who I spend time with and enjoy it, and that can support me throughout my studies, that's much better for me.
How many of these have you had?
5.
And how much have they paid you?
It varies. Some I haven't had a allowance itself from, but currently I'm on £800 a month.
From who?
From someone I have an arrangement with.
And how old is that guy?
He's in his 30s.
Right.
Do you see it as a relationship or do you see it as a job?
I definitely see it as a relationship. I haven't been involved with anyone that I don't really like and get on with. For me, I usually have more of a platonic relationship, but yeah, I definitely do.
And when you say platonic relationship, you mean that this isn't a sexual arrangement, this isn't somebody paying you for there to be a sexual relationship, and is that sort of put into a contract, or is that an underlying sort of trust between you?
There's no contracts or anything like that, but how it's different to normal dating and what I really like about meeting people through seeking arrangement is the fact that there's more communication and people clearly state their boundaries and they understand what they want from the relationship.
OK, Clover, where are your boundaries? You've dated 15 men, is that right? Through this?
Yeah, some just like the one time.
And how many have you ended up actually having a proper relationship with, having sex with?
Maybe like 1.
1?
Yeah.
So it's not about sex for you?
Only if they're like, only if it's like there, you know, so.
And how much are you being paid to be a companion?
It varies, so I don't know.
Well, like what? Give me an example.
What's the most you've been paid monthly? Holly gets £800 a month. Do you know what? Would you be able to put a figure on your...
I mean, the most I've ever had is like 8,000, but it was like broken down into like...
But you're a biochemist student, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're both obviously very bright girls. You're at university. I mean, what do your family think of this? What do your parents think of this? Are they supportive?
Yeah, I mean, my dad doesn't mind, and my parents don't mind. My mum
Your dad doesn't mind?
No, he's actually happier that I'm happy, rather than like young guys that are so silly, he thinks, and I think also, so.
So he'd rather you were sort of with older, more responsible guys, perhaps, than young, drunken students?
Yeah, exactly.
Holly, nobody wants to pour water on the fact that you're having successful, either of you are having successful relationships. I think the thing that's troubling for people is the idea that there is a man paying you for that relationship. I mean, literally giving you money so that you will spend time with him and perhaps expect more, which, you know, you say isn't in a contract and therefore leaves you open to perhaps exploitation. But that financial arrangement puts it quite close to, I'm sure you've been asked before, whether this is a sort of, you know, borderline dodgy.
Prostitution is the word you're looking for.
No, not at all. I don't think of it in that way. It's not a transactional relationship at all. It's most of the allowances are for the young person, and that's why it's usually students, to be supported so they can pursue their own interests, whether that's starting a business
But come on. You're not, neither of you are stupid, right? And you know that's not really what's going on here. You've got older guys who just want to be around young, attractive girls, right? And they're prepared to pay you hundreds of pounds a month. So I think it's a perfectly reasonable question as to where, really, that's any different to a conventional escort agency, for example.
Well, it's different because it's not transactional.
What do you mean not transactional?
Well, there's no direct, if I give you this money, you will do this thing. It's...
What are you expected to deliver for £800 a month?
You're not expected to deliver anything.
How often do you see the guy that pays you the money?
Usually around 4 or 5 times a month.
Right.
But it's not transactional in that way. There is no direct exchange.
Where's the love and romance in all this? I asked a woman who was actually quite a strong lady in Las Vegas who helps run the company. They make £40 million a year, or dollars, and she was very proud of what she's doing. But what I asked her, and I couldn't really get a good answer, is where's the traditional organic love and romance about this? It seems all a bit clinical. Some old guy goes, here's 800 quid a month. You're coming out with me 5 times a month.
I have a love story about it.
Go on. You fell in love through this?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, there was a guy, he told me he was 32, but he was only 28. and I was having like a really hard time, like really stressed and everything. And he was in like another country, in America, in Boston, and he just like flew me over. He gave me some money, flew me over, and I thought that was really romantic and sweet. And then when we went over there, we like talked. We spent the whole night together, and we're talking, having fun. We went out, we did things, and then like on the plane back, I was like crying, so I was actually quite upset because I actually like really did like him.
Okay, so it is possible.
And it was
through
romantic.
this process. You know,
Did you develop a relationship with him?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
how long did it last?
But obviously, because I live here, he lives there, so we're still in touch, but,
Right.
you know.
When you were buried alive in the wake of this attack, were you left unconscious?
Yes.
So you came to sort of underneath dirt and debris.
It was branches, ferns, shrubs were on top of me. When I first came around, it was just, I could hear my heart beating.